Hi, everyone. I'm going to be sharing my screen so that you could see how we edit. Hold on a sec. I'm just going to minimize Zoom. Is my screen visible yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Wait a second. How about now?
It's coming. It's coming. Yes, it's shared.
Hold on a sec. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. So, wait. Okay. So here, I would like to show you the workspace of a freshly installed Filmora 11 software. So this is freshly installed. Nothing has been downloaded yet. I just installed this. So just so that you could see what it looks like. So we're all on the same level. The link to the download of Filmora is in the mini site, I believe. So you could check it out there. I could also share the link after this presentation. So now what we have here is the intro screen. The moment you double click on Filmora, this is what you're going to see. So what we're going to do, the download link for Filmora is available on the mini site. And I could also share the screen, the link, the download link here after this presentation. All right, so now we have to click on create a new project. If you downloaded the kit, you can also have access to the videos that I'm going to be using today. Okay, so the moment that you open the screen, this is the workspace that you're gonna see. It will have some tools, some tips that I might not even talk about in this particular session. So when you open it, make sure to read them. So we will be using, okay. Right, so there's a guide. Then we drag it here to edit it. We could even add filters. By the way, the stuff that we will be using here are just free stuff. This is not paid for. This is the free version of the software. We can preview using this panel. There we go. Okay. Wait, I wish the Filmora would let me continue. Okay. All right. So you've just seen some of the basics, but I'm going to be talking talking through the whole thing. All right. Let's say, for example, that you have already. Okay, I will be answering some of your questions in a bit. Just let me, just let me continue this presentation for now. Let's say that you have already shot some footage and that you've already placed them in a folder and you've labeled them properly, just like what Trina said a while ago. She told us to arrange the files properly and name them properly and put them in proper folders. All right. Okay. So let's say you've already done that. Let's say that these 3 videos are the 3 videos that you've shot. These 3 videos are from the same scene shot using 3 different cameras. So what we're going to do first is we will be dragging these footages into our workspace. So we drag them here. After we've dragged them there, we will now drag them into our workspace. Then we will drag the second one into our workspace again. I'll drag the third one to our workspace once more. Now, since I'm the one who shot these footages, I know that the good audio comes from cam 3. So I will be using the audio from cam 3 to augment the bad audio in all of these cameras. Remember, this is all the same scene. This is just the same scene. So they will be saying the same things on all of these scenes, or on all of these shots. The only difference is the audio in cam 3 is better than these other two. So what we're going to do is we are going to right click. We are going to right click, and then we are going to detach audio. Once we have detached the audio, we can now synchronize the audio with the other files. How do we do that? We select one file, then we select the audio file, we right click, and then we click auto synchronization. We are now sure that these two files are synced up. We'll now select these two files, right click, auto synchronization.
Ako, ikaw magbasa ako. Ayan, at para naman sa ating segment,
Start from the top. Detach audio.
That can you explain what you're doing now? So that
I'm still in that process of detaching the audio and synchronizing it with everything. I'm still not done. That's how long this takes.
Okay, and so can you explain, because you're touching plenty of different things, so that we can understand what you're doing and why you're doing this?
Oh, it's still the same thing, everyone. Okay. It's still the same thing. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm just trying to sync up everything. I'm just trying to make sure that all these footages right here, 1, 2, 3, are synced up with the audio that we are using right here. Because the main problem with Filmora is that we cannot highlight everything and auto synchronize. It can only synchronize one audio track at a time. That's our main problem right here. That's the reason why we have to detach the audio and synchronize it with one clip at a time. So for example, right here, if we watch it,
ayan, at para naman sa ating segment, nakimustahan.
you see her mouth moving along with the audio, right? So these two are synced up. But if I disable this track and I try to watch it, her mouth won't be in sync.
Yan, at para naman sa ating segment na K-mustahan.
See? It's not synced up. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to sync up this audio with this one. We can do it automatically using the software if we have just two footages. But additionally, what we can try to do is we look for some certain visual elements that will make sure, that will help us ensure that the audio and video are synced. So her first line is ayan.
Ayan, at
So we try to watch for the point when she says that word. All right.
ayan, at para naman sa
Now these two are synced up. We try to sync up this last one.
ating segment na K-mustahan.
So this chat is a bit complicated because you have used 3 videos. If we
Yes,
have
that's the
only-
reason why it's quite hard.
Yes, but if we add only 1 video, then
Mhm.
would you also?
It'll be much simpler.
Okay, and in this case,
Ayan, at para
in this case, you would have 1 audio file and 1 video file, correct?
Yes. If we use one video, but the reason why I'm trying to teach them this level, using 3 videos is for visual interest. If you only have one layer of video running throughout the entire, say, 3, 4, 5 minutes, it will end up quite boring because all you will have is a couple of talking heads like this the entire time. So it's good if you intersperse it with other videos that serve as cutaways. Like, for example, just let me finish this. For example, this is our initial primary angle. And then what if I cut it here using my cutting tool, which I access using this? If I split it and then I delete it, or if I drag it to another layer, which is not visible,
So which layer will be the one of your final? The one on the top?
all of this will be your final. For example, I will have these people talking,
ayan.
right? And then
At para naman sa ating segment na
Because I
K-mustahan, ito ang ating
here,
public service
this part.
announcements for episode 164. Katoto Project. Ang Katoto Project ay
I have an alternative angle for the people who are talking. Is it making sense? Am I making sense right now?
Which one?
Because of an alternative angle that I made available by shooting in 3 cameras all at the same time, I have an alternative angle so that it's not just this full flat angle of the 2 people talking. I have an alternative angle here. And then afterwards, I will have an alternative angle here. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Right. So what we did right now is the basic workflow of Filmora. This is working with layers. Now, what I'm trying to say with working with layers is your topmost layer will always be the one visible. However, when you scroll here, it's not visible because if you look to this left side, you will see that the track is not visible. I turned the eye off. But if you turn the eye on, it will be visible again. Turn the eye off, it's not visible anymore. So all this is just coming from the free version of Filmora. You don't have, I didn't pay for any of this. This is a fresh install. Working with layers allows you to manipulate and add more layers on top of these footages that you're trying to edit. So if you want to add pictures, like what Trina said, if you want to add maps, like what Trina said, you can do that. But you just have to keep in mind which layer you are working on.
If I may ask the
Mhm.
question, so as we were suggesting to add pictures, so you would add pictures in the main block up where you have done cam 1, cam 2, and also user
Yep.
guide.
So
So
for example, we can import media here. Let's try to hold on a second.
but you can also embed an image so that you
Yes.
have
Just press this plus sign here, and then you can download an image, any image from the internet or from your files. You can just add that here, and then you drag that down here, just like what I'm doing with user guide right now. See, now user guide's there. Now we have another video there.
Ang Laguna at ng National
and how do we know which layer is going to be in the final video?
All the visible layers will be in the final video. So, for example, here, the only reason you don't see the layers underneath is because this layer is perfectly covering the ones underneath. But if I reduce the size here, you automatically see the layer underneath. So all of that is present in your final video. So that's another thing that you should note, is that these audio, the audio of the other layers are also going to be present in the final video. You can control that by pressing mute here on the left side. You can control that by pressing mute here on the left side so that the audio doesn't overlap.
Sorry, Chuck, I have another question.
Yes.
Does the number of layers have an impact on the final weight of the file? I mean, if I just have, no, okay, so it's just the length and the quality.
Yes, the length, the audio quality,
Yeah.
The video quality, the target video type, all affect the size, the final size of the video. So the length, audio quality, video quality, and target file type affect final size of rendered video.
And the visual effects have also an impact?
Yes, but that impacts rendering time more than the final size.
Okay, thank you.
So it doesn't really affect the final size, it affects the rendering time, the time it squashes images down into a video. Because as you can see, the way the software reads the image, the way all editing softwares read video, is that each frame is one picture. That's one picture after another, because that's what video is. It's just a sequence of pictures. If you add stuff, like say here, we can add stuff using Filmora. Let's just let it load for a while. Okay, so let's try adding this. So for example, here at the end, we will have a thank you screen.
Hello. Hello, Chad.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, Chad. Hello, sorry.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I have one question. If the quality of video affected by audio quality, how to manage this one? How to
I
control?
I think it's more of dependent on what kind of camera you're using, what lens you're using, and also the quality of lighting in the shot. It's more of a production thing rather than an editing thing. So, uh, managing the quality of your video would depend on the stuff during the production phase.
So, which camera do you prefer for us?
Actually, if your cell phone is relatively new, maybe something you bought 5 years ago or something that was released 5 years ago, that should be fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I'm shooting on a phone that was released just 3 years ago and I'm shooting really nice videos. I mean, the quality is great. Okay. Going back to what Francesco was saying, if we edit it frame by frame, like for example, take a look at the screen right now, this preview panel right here in the upper right.
Lahat pala ikaw dun.
Okay, we added this layer right here. Thank you. This thank you layer. It's supposed to pop up here. What is wrong? Let's try to make something more obvious. Okay, there you go. How about here? Why is it not popping up? There we go. Oh, because I put it on the invisible layer. Nice. For example, if we add
Pakinggan
this
ang tunog
element,
ng gandingan.
if we add that element right there, automatically that makes the video a bit larger and longer to render. Did I answer your question, Francesco?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, there we go.
Also, but I also have one question. In order to be more ordered during the editing process, is it worth to keep, for instance, always the three video tracks, or it's better to just select and delete the others that we are not using? Because you said
Oh,
that basically
mhm.
they are overlapping one with each other. So we see just the predominant one. But in order to have a more ordered process, isn't it better, as you did at the beginning with the track number 2, to delete what we are not using?
Personally, I like keeping them there because it organizes it in my head. At least for, especially when it comes to continuity issues. If another editor would be sitting here, editing this video alongside me or instead of me,
He
they
can.
would want to see
Okay,
what
okay,
amount of footage they're working with.
okay, I understand that.
It's more of a continuity thing. It's just a practice that we do in the office. If your organization would like to set standards, your own standards, depending on how to manage the workspace during editing the video, it's okay. But for me, for us in the office, what we like to do is we like to keep all these videos this long. Like the entire video should always be there, so we know how much footage we're working with.
Okay, thanks, very
And
good.
for example, here, if you check this out, it doesn't have the end footage mark. We know that's how we know that there's a little bit more footage there that maybe we could work with. So
Okay,
for example, we're running short, we are running on time, we're running on too much time. Example that the final video we want is 5 minutes, we only have 3 minutes worth of video. We could see which cuts we could probably extend. Like for this one, there's so much more video at the end. Maybe we would like to extend that. Just something that there's something to keep in mind, especially if many people will be working on the post production of the video itself.
clear. Thank you very much.
All right. So going back, once you've laid out, once you're happy with how all your videos are cut, once you're happy with how all your videos are cut, like for example, let's cut this video here. For example, our entire production will just be that long. And this will be muted. So for example, our entire production will just be that long. we would like to add subtitles at the beginning. So maybe Filmora also provides that, but you could make your own using other software or using Filmora itself. But just for our purposes today, just so that we could show off what the software can do, we are going to be using the stuff that comes with the software. So for example, here we can try using this. There we go. Let's add that there on the visible layer. So when we play it, we can double click. Yes. We can double click on the title and say training video. And then we can adjust our position. Oops, nope. We can adjust this position, drag this here. Place that there. And then when we play it, it'll be replaced. There we go. And then we end that there. We look for a transition like the ones that Trina was talking about. Let's try using a dissolve, maybe. Let's try using a dissolve function. Let's put that there. Then we can drag this transition here so that we can control the time, how long the transition plays. There we go. Let's try playing it from the start. There we go. Wait a second. Okay.
Chad, I am
Right.
also conscious of time because we
Okay.
still have Edmund presentation and
Yep.
we have 20 more minutes. So please tell us what else we should know in this video editing, and so we can maybe move to the next session.
Don't worry. But it's almost done. I'm just trying to show you the graphics
Yes.
part of the video. Remember,
And
Trina
I
was
also-
always yes.
Yes, sorry, and also Aptamu is hand raised and would like to ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Aptamu?
Yes, thank you. Chat, I
Yes,
just want to ask one thing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I
Yeah,
can hear you clearly.
If I want, okay, if I want to put the transcription of the audio file, so is it possible to put parallel to the video on this Filmora application?
Yes. For example, I'm gonna put a song, an additional audio file, like a song. Wait a minute. Where's my music? Here. So, for example, we have a song right here. We're going to drag it into Filmora. Oops, not there. Here. There we go. We're gonna drag it into Filmora. Then we're going to be dragging it here. So now we have a song. Did you hear the song? Now we want the song to fade out. So we adjust the volume.
Hello, chat.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. How to adjust the audio volume and the video volume? Can you
Okay.
do that?
We can use that here. This thing, I don't know if you could see if you could see it in my screen right now, it's going to be pretty small, but this thing right here, this blue-green thing that I'm dragging up and down is the audio volume. So by clicking here, we can adjust the volume, but by clicking here, it's really small though. it's going to look like an arrow on the upper right corner of the audio file. And it's going to, when you drag it, you will have a blue-green thing, or like a ramp. This will determine when the audio starts fading out. So now that we have a ramp here, this audio thing, this song will start fading out at this point. Like, listen. See? The song just started fading out at that point where this arrow was. See? So yes, you can adjust the volume of the audio and the video here. If it's the volume of the video that you're concerned about, you can just go to the audio clip and just drag that white line on the audio part. It's basically the same thing, just like here. All right, going back to what Trina said a while ago, videos need credits. Here in titles, there's also credits. So you just double click on the file. Once you've placed this credit title here, you just double click on it and then change it. So maybe we change this one. And then we change this one. Oops, that is not aligned. There we go. Now you have your credits. There we go. So once you're done with this whole thing, you can now export. You can export using this button right here, export. It will ask you to log in. You can just log in with Google or Facebook. So for example, I'm going to stop sharing. Never mind. Oops. Anyway, yeah, you can just log in and then you can automatically export your video after that. And that's pretty much it. So those are basically all the functions that you need to know.
Just a last question, because for audio, when you export the final editing, you need to have a left beginning and the right at the end. The two, I would say, limits from where I would like to start until when I have to finish. Is that automatically, or do we have to set the left and right, I would say, limits? Do you see my question?
You mean when the audio and video start and when they end?
Yeah, when we export usually for audio, you have a left marker and a right marker. The left is for the beginning and the right is for the end. Do we have markers for the beginning and the end or not? Is it automatic? Meaning that
it's automatic usually, Francesco. It's usually automatic unless you mistakenly adjust it here. You see this red bar right here on top? Unless you mistakenly adjust that, it should be automatic. So just try really hard not to touch this red line right here on top.
Okay, so it means that if by error there are other video on the right side that we didn't use, we risk to export a much longer video.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So like for example, here in our credits, right? Here in our credits, after these credits, we want this to end right here at this line, right?
Exactly.
Make sure that everything here on this side is deleted.
It's clean. Yeah, no, because I know that, but just to clarify it with the others.
Yep. That's a really good question, though. Anyway, yeah.
There are two more questions. There is Menjitsu and Taki. Paul.
All right, go ahead. Let's go for Menjitsu first.
Okay.
Menjitsu.
Okay, okay, thank you. Can we change the title page and credit page's background?
Yes. So this is just a white image. This is just a
Yeah.
white image right here. Usually you can Filmora gives you transparent titles. So for example, we remove this and then we grab this one right here because I'm sure this is transparent. Let's see here. There we go. That is transparent. That's gonna enable you to put whatever image you want behind the text. You can also change the color. So by double clicking it, you can change it maybe to red if you want red. And that's it. Now it's red.
Sorry, I'm not saying the text color, the background color.
Oh yeah, but I mean, if you want to change it, you can if you use a transparent title. There we go. Now
Okay.
it's black.
Okay. Okay. The second question: is there any limitation or offshoots in the timeline? Let me when we took other softwares, we can manage a lot of scene or a lot of shoots and edits. So when we come to Filmora, is there any limitations to access
I haven't
or
reached it
manage
yet.
editing? Yeah.
I haven't reached it yet because I usually work with at most 16 layers in Filmora, and it's not
Okay.
stopping me from doing my job. So I guess if there's a limit, I haven't reached it yet. I'm not sure if there's a limit, but so far I guess we could say that there is no limit.
Okay. Okay.
Or
Thank you.
probably the limit is the limit of the memory of your PC.
Yes, that's true too. All right, there's a
Thank you.
statement here from Ayele. Sometimes we miss the audio at the time of shooting and may need to adjust audio externally with no other sound recorder and the sound only in the same time. We want to add music in the same shot. How can we do this with the editing software? If you see a while ago, I added a song. I just basically dragged it down here and automatically I have a song in my track. If you want to adjust the volume, you can just drag up this white bar here on your video and that increases the volume.
Chat.
All right. Any more questions?
Yes,
No,
there is
no.
Paul.
Go.
Chad.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused from the beginning because our levels in terms of editing are not the same. This is my first time of involving in video editing. So initially I was expecting you to start with the first one video and show us the procedure. But unfortunately on the line, my network went off. When I came in, you've already done a lot.
Oh,
And
okay.
most of the training we are doing now is fully centered on how to produce this. So I don't know with the team whether it's feasible to arrange because we need to go step by step to understand this and come up with a good video for the end of the activity that we are doing. Moreover, I also wanted to find out is this app only be used when you're connected to the internet, or you can still be doing your video offline version and later. So
If you downloaded it,
that.
you can use it offline, Paul. But the animations, the stuff that I'm using a while ago here, you have to have downloaded them already if you want to use them offline. Like these titles, you saw me downloading them. You can't do that when you're offline. If you want to use, I guess what I'm trying to say is, just download all the titles that you want to use right away so you can use them offline.